empathy or feeling it too. In fact, it is insufficient because we cannot offer the antidotes, the improvements, the healing from our own suffering, which empathy could certainly offer us. We actually, from empathy comes the bright light, the clear seeing of compassion. And then from that place, we actually can begin to heal ourselves, each other, those we love, and ultimately the whole world. Isn't that encouraging? I read this in a earlier practice today. I thought I would offer it again. It isn't that it is so specific to self-compassion and Tonglen practice, but Pablo Neruda had a key understanding in this poem that I thought was exquisite. It's called Keeping Quiet. And what I know about this is that without that stillness, without that quiet, without that spaciousness of mind, body, heart, we can't even feel our feet, can we? We can't even feel our bodies. And so how then, really, could we possibly feel something as subtle as empathy or compassion? Really wouldn't be possible. And so I thought I'd read this first as we prepare for sitting. And welcome to Vivian. So good to have you. Vivian, you notice that this evening group, for the most part, although I haven't looked through everyone, does not typically turn on their videos. We love that you are, because it's so wonderful to get to see you, to wave at you. The reason, thanks, Liz, for turning yours on too. Hopefully the baby's there somewhere. I'm not sure where the baby, oh, right there. Is that right? Liz just had Aja. I can't, is she sleeping? Looks like, oh, so adorable. So me. Huh? She's eating. Oh my God, so fabulous. That's adorable. Last time we were talking, it was Sunday, and the next day there Liz was popping out Aja. It's so good, Liz, to see you and Aja both. That's just spectacular. And we have Grandma Lisa, who I think is Nana Lise or something like that, on too. You must enjoy getting to spend time like this every day. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, wow, that's spectacular. And so because the goal in the practice, hi there, Tanya, good to see you too. The goal of this practice, particularly self-compassion practice, is really twofold. One is to fortify one's posture, because we're going to go through hell. That's it. To turn towards suffering. That's it. You need to fortify the posture somehow. And so I want you to consider that first, supported, fortified in the posture, because we're going to go into some dark territory. Remember, turning towards suffering is first required as we begin to cultivate the capacities for compassion and self-compassion. So we can't just be lax in the posture. We need to be somewhat supported. That can include lying down. I'm a warrior by nature. I don't tend to lie down in the face of suffering. It's not my habit. It doesn't mean it's not right. By the way, sometimes maybe the best thing is to like, oh. So I don't like these practices, Tonglen in particular. Self-compassion, I think, is different. I think you could easily, good to see you too, Leanne. I think it would be easy to do self-compassion practice, right? Just open-heartedly, supported in the back side of the heart, tie there, supported in the front, and letting the whole heart be open. I want you to be more watchful then in the Tonglen portion, however. It's tough territory for me. I like to have as much stability as I can get. I like to have as much mindfulness as I can cultivate. And I can get a little wooey in self compassion practice and a little less mindful, not less loving, for sure. But we're going to need our mindfulness essentially first in Tonglen, because we have to first recognize and turn towards distress. And so just watch the posture there. See what's true for you as we're investigating this. I think the investigation itself is useful and slightly interesting. I would like to see what you notice. It'll be a question I ask at the end, like, okay, so how was it when you were lying down? Did you feel really able? Was there sufficient mountain body to turn towards, even as we turn towards difficulty, distress, anxiety, uncertainty, the not knowing that can all contribute to suffering? So let's do that. You'll notice that I'm sitting, but there is no one path, no one way. And so here is Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. See if you can sense why I wanted to offer this first towards the window, the lens, the eye of mindfulness first. I want to check my chat just to make sure. Yes. Lots of blessings to Adya. How beautiful. So here we are. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. Pablo Neruda, Keeping Quiet. And so let's prepare to sit. And so seeing if you can feel your way. Remember, this is a real practice. It's not a philosophy. See if you can feel your way into that support. Is the back supported? Are the hips restful in contact with the seat? Is the whole of the back of the body being supported? Because you're lying, is the head in air or resting? on a surface. Breathe in. See what's true for you. Supported, wakeful, alert. And also supported sufficiently that there is some ease in the body, an ability to settle back, a settling in, even if you're sitting, a settling down. The feet, the legs, and the hips, a supported base, the back, the neck, the shoulders, the head, all in alignment. And as we breathe into the front of the body, letting the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, and chin be soft. Letting the mouth be slightly parted. They say like by 1 grain of rice, so that the lips are not pursed. The tongue is rested at the top of the mouth behind the front teeth. The shoulders, the arms are weighted, providing support. And then we let the chest, the diaphragm, the belly, and the heart be as open, as soft, dissolving all tension, all barrier, all separation from the truth of this life. And then we set the aspiration, may I have the patience, the generosity, the strength, the courage, the love to turn towards whatever's true. Whether it be greed, the wanting nature of mind, whether it be anger, ill will, frustration, and the not wanting. Whether it be that disconnect, that confusion, that's the uncertainty, whatever the kleshas, whatever the poisons, can we remember that there is an antidote and to invite that in? May we offer this not only to ourselves, but to those we love and care about, those we know, those we don't know. Moving out ever more in those boundless circles so that eventually all beings are included. And then if you choose, calling to mind that special one, the one to whom you're going to generously, humbly offer your practice and its benefits today. We're going to rest for a few moments, just settling and stabilizing the mind using the body sensations And you can use whatever sensations are most available for you. For some people, it's those contact points, the feet, the hips, the hands. Just beginning to turn one's attention there. Curious, interested, friendly. For some of you, you naturally have a refuge set up from your breath awareness practice, maybe easily finding the breathscape, some space between the collarbone or the sternum and the hips, maybe holding that whole area in a gentle and kind attention. And then we're just placing the attention each breath as much as we can, and don't struggle with it. It's not helpful, but at least turning towards placing and seeing how you can sustain the attention on the in breath or the out breath. For some of us, we start on the out breath, but it's evening, and the out breath can make us particularly sleepy and dull. So we watch that. It might be better to capture both awareness of the in breath and the out breath. Feeling the sensations of the breath. And it might feel like expanding or contracting. Filling and emptying. Rising and falling. And let's see if, like Neruda's invitation, we could be still so that we could pick up those subtle movements and those subtle sensations while breathing in and breathing out. Now remember, don't get worried or go into perfection about holding the attention there. That's actually not how we begin. It tends to be a little more of dotted line touches. Oh, here and here and here and here. And that's a perfect beginning. And then you might catch the beginning of the in breath and wave and rise of the breath. And then that magic ceiling, you never know where that is. And then the beginning of the out breath. See if you can stay in contact for part of the wave of that out breath as the body deflates and settles and softens and stills. Now, if you have a busy monkey mind, the truth is you won't be able to catch that. And we stay committed to the practice here. No matter what we get or what we don't get, beginning, middle, or end, we commit ourselves as fully for the very next breath. And whatever that looks like at the end of the out breath, we let it go. We rest in the stillness. And then the next in breath arrives and we begin fresh, new. Touching into this breath exactly as it is, not like any other. And then see if you can rest in the wave, the cresting, the falling of the in breath and the out breath for a few moments. There's nowhere else you need to be. Remember, with each breath, we invite ourselves once again home. The intention is set again with every breath. Doesn't mean it's perfect. And then it is perfect because with that intention, the practice grows stronger over time. This portion of the practice, you will notice the mind beginning to wander, and that very noticing is a part of our mindfulness training. We see the mind in its movement. Here's a beautiful thing. It is the still mind that catches the movement, the mind of awareness that sees the mind, the thinking mind, as it goes from thing to thing, judging, planning, memorizing, creating, whatever it's doing, no problem. The minute we recognize that, this essential recognition is the beginning of our mindfulness, and we can, with that, make a decision. We now have consciousness, awareness, and choice. We can keep thinking, planning. We can let it go for a moment, come back to the present moment as known by this breath body. There's nowhere to be where you can be as loving, as available, as kind, as generous, as patient or present as this one breath. I promise. Everything else, every moment past, every moment future, no matter what its contents, is simply a storyline. It is no longer here. The mind in its movement is always seeking one thing. I'll ask the question, what do you think that one thing is? One thing. And see if we can settle back into the breath and remember that that one thing is right here, nowhere else. That one thing we seek with thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future, is actually nowhere else but here. What is that one thing? Comes in different names, but it's still the same. And we surrender the idea that if only we could get this or that, or if we could go this way or that other way, that we could then get it, because it isn't true. The conditions, this way or that way, or in front of us or behind us, if we could only get warmer, cooler, taller or shorter, more money, more time, more help, more something, less something, then this is the bargaining. Then I would show up. No, you're asked to show up now with all the conditions exactly as they are. Tired like this, scared like this, overwhelmed like this, lonely like this. And this is the beginning of how our recognition becomes compassion. Because we see that seeking mind, that not wanting mind, that immobilized, not knowing what to do mind is the same. Looking everywhere but here. And so we settle it here, right in this one breath. And invite the mind into the body, into the breath, and into wholeness, where all healing begins. Not back there, not up there, but here. And we breathe it, and we commit ourselves to it again and again. So what is it you are really looking for? What is it you think you really are wanting or not wanting that you think is not right here? Is it peace? It's right here. Calm, right here. Care, connection, belonging, protection. Right here in the refuge of your own body breath. an awakened heart mind. Invite your whole self home, including the parts you have cut off, the scared one, the lonely one, the confused one, the disgusted one, the fearful one. Create enough breath and space and room to be with this. And breathe it in. Don't disconnect or separate or push away. It's all a ridiculous waste of time. Turn towards and open and let it in. This is generosity and compassion, a radical act of love. And then can you feel for yourself, truly opening your heart, offering your resources to yourself. Recognizing first that this is a moment of klesha, this is a moment of poison, this is a moment of mind habit, but we can't get rid of it. It's just not the way. But we can invite it in, offer it shelter, offer it a place to rest, like a lost child, a hungry stranger. And as we breathe it in, we allow the experience to be exactly as it is. Tight in the chest, choky in the throat, itchy in the nose, watery in the eyes. It's all fine. Maybe a tight belly, a backache, itchy. Maybe a restlessness comes or sleepiness. This is one of the ways we try to find an escape route from the truth of the distress. Just know it when it comes and come back to the breath. So we recognize the distress rather than turn away. We turn towards and breathe it in. Let the body know. Often we want to know more. We want to know how it's going to go, how it's going to come out. Is it going to work out? And we cannot. We can only be with this. Breathe here. Show up for yourself completely right now. This is the best we've got. And so the recognition and the allowing leads to the moving closer, Seeing what else is true. So staying with the vivid sensations first. Mine was a tight chest, most prominent. And rather than try to flee or fix, we're just going to drop in. I'm just breathing now right into that heart space, right into the chest space. And just opening, not seeking solution or answer, and just staying present. We can offer ourselves then, even in the inquiry, a willingness. And I'll stay. Pleasant or unpleasant, it's okay. We are training and abiding and bearing witness to distress. This is required for compassion. The sensations may change, they may intensify, they may neutralize. Doesn't matter, stay anyway. And from that inquiry, we can remember that this is not just my experience. This isn't just happening to me. This experience is a part of the human condition. That there are others just like me, many, millions of others, maybe all humans, just like me, who have felt this too. And we can begin, if we're ready, but not required, to breathe in not only for ourselves, for our own pain, for our own fear, but for that common humanity, for all those just like me who know this too. But that's not required, that simply comes with time. We can breathe in that sense of thick, dark, heavy, choky, contracted, or claustrophobic breath. It's not actually the breath that's doing it, by the way, it's actually the contraction. We're making the portal very, very small. We don't force it open. We simply accept and allow where we are. Tight like this. Maybe you could think of just one other. This could be more than good enough. Someone you know who has experienced this distress. And in addition to allowing compassion for yourself, which again is always first, you could open to feeling for them too. Lonely like this. Scared like this. Angry like this. Frustrated like this. Confused, uncertain like this. And we breathe it in. We breathe it right into the heart space that has room and warmth and complete care right there. I think about Jesus really making room in a manger. Like, no matter how strange, no matter how unknown, there was room. Checking back, waking down into the body to feel what's there. I'm noticing the tight chest is settled. I think I feel a little protective block there still. Not trying to breathe it open. I'm just staying in contact with that edge. We can offer phrases, we can offer touch, we can place our hands really in the area of the heart, holding ourselves, supporting ourselves. Breathing in. Letting the feelings be real. Letting the storylines fall away. We can offer those loving kindness and compassion phrases. May I be well. May I be free from distress. May I have ease. May I have the compassion, the care, the kindness to continue. And remember, if for some reason we simply cannot offer this to oneself out of that trance of self-loathing or unworthiness or that storyline of being undeserving, maybe you can offer this first to your special one, that person just like you, who feels this too. You can offer a gentle massage. You can offer that image of the most beloved others shining those healing light rays down in your own heart, seeing who you really are and recognizing your distress. And out of their love for you, their wish for your healing, your happiness, they give their strength, their kindness to you. And we breathe it in. On the out breath to begin, in self-compassion, I'd just like to send those warm, loving, compassionate wishes through the body, touching into the heart and then into the torso, radiating out to get to the arms and legs, upward towards the head, filling the whole body with this healing energy, with this goodness. Make sure to let it touch not only the surface of the body, but deep within. Let it touch that pounding heart, that achiness, that tightness, that numbness, whatever is there. Continue to breathe. Turning towards that suffering. And offering compassion. I always have a sense that just comes from me naturally of sort of filling the body with these twinkling lights, maybe like stardust or atoms of healing. And I see if I can't make contact with that energy. That with those wishes. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I have ease. May I remember that I am deserving of this love and attention. And it's very important that we make contact with the physical felt sense because we're going to feel this again in relationship to our own experience and in relationship to others. And we will know it by heart. We don't abandon ourselves in this, in preparation for being present when ready to others. Beginning always with ourselves. And so maybe I'm feeling shut down, I'm feeling disconnected, I'm noticing I'm distracted, I just can't keep my mind together. Can I feel for myself in this? Can I breathe in the truth of this distraction, this confusion, this not wanting, or wanting something else? And then I could feel for all those, maybe that special one, just like me, who doesn't want it either. And that grows the heart, the lungs, and the mind heart bigger. Makes room not only for one's own suffering, but others. Breathing in that light, breathing in that space, breathing in that good medicine, breathing in those qualities of loving kindness, compassion, generosity, care, deservedness. And if you don't feel like you have that to offer, see if you can act as if you do. What would it be like to offer that to a beloved mother? What would they want? This is a moment of suffering, of confusion, of anger. Others, just like me, feel this too. And then we're going to let go for a time. We've turned towards the truth, a partial truth of the reality of distress, of wanting, of confusion. And we've responded now, offered nurturing, offered care, offered generosity, offered calm, offered ease. And then we rest back in that ease. We've done the good work of turning towards, now we let go. And just come back into that wide open, spacious heart, the one that can hold the suffering and the path to its end. We simply rest in the truth that where we are present, love and healing will abide. And resting there for a few moments. May we all be happy. May we all be free from distress, from confusion, from hatred, from craving. May we all have ease and well-being. May we remember that we more than any other to begin, are deserving of this care. And seeing if we can't breathe that in. And then as we breathe it out, send it first through our own bodies. And as we become abundant with this care, it will move out, spread out, not only to ourselves and our whole bodies, but to others. This is the path to the end of suffering. And may we dedicate this practice not only to ourselves, but to that special one. And in their well-being, in their ease, in their happiness, may they too offer it to another until all beings are healed. And may this practice be a benefit. So be it. So before we click off, let's see if we have any ideas. You can chat it or come online. What is it that we are seeking somewhere else that there is nowhere else to find it? Where is it? What is it? Nowhere but now, nowhere but here. Nothing in the past, nothing in the future. But this moment, what is it we're seeking? Any ideas?
I think for myself, just, and I know it's there. It's not that it's missing, but I feel, just that feeling of love and companionship and acceptance and understanding. And those are just things that came up. And yet I have those things, but there's some place within myself that it doesn't feel like I do, but I do.
Yeah, you do. That gets scared.
Yes, very much so.
That you're not enough, that you don't actually have what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that, thank you, Tanya. I've read already 2 other perfect answers. Peace and quiet. Where else would we look? What other closet would we climb in? What past or future moment could hold it better than this one? Libby, security, ground, solid ground, permanence, connection. Where else is it? How are we getting there? How are we getting there? If not right here in us. Just like this. Perfect. Complete understanding. There we have it. Thank you so much for this practice. This is how self-compassion extends and then expands to include others. They say that you can sometimes feel for the other because of your own block of unworthiness, your own belief thoughts in your insufficiencies, your hindrances arising, that you can sometimes actually allow the feeling first for others, or if not others, maybe beings, uh, pets, someone over there who you see suffering, because we don't bring the same self judgment. We don't bring the same self loathing. We don't bring the same criticism to others. We go, but I can feel it over there. Well, it's the same. You are as deserving as that other. It cannot be otherwise because you are them. You are made from the same stardust. You are part of the same fabric. And so sometimes we can come in through the doorway of, oh, but I saw that suffering and I felt for that. Well, that's you too. And so then extend it. Just like them, I am deserving of this. This is the truth of my experience in my humanness as well. But don't get confused. It is not because um, they are more deserving. It's because you are not judging them to the same harsh standard as you are judging yourself. And so it seems more available there. But it is the same heart and the same deserving, because that exchange for self and other is the practice. Understanding that, having right view, you just like me just like you, deserving like this. So, any other questions before we sign off? I hope the baby's sleeping. Um, it looks like things are going pretty good there. Let's see, Liz. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can make you bigger so we can get you on spotlight to see that gorgeous baby. I don't know how to do that, but I wish I could. There must be a way. I hope everyone can see that precious being there. Uh, so Ajia now is about a week,
2 weeks.
two
2 weeks today.
2 weeks already.
Yep.
There you go. Look how fast it all goes.
Mm-hmm.
Liz, hold the baby up again if you can without, don't do it if there's going to be any chance for distressing her.
Not so much.
Right, because look, that's that baby's not distressed. No distress happening there. Now she already looks so big.
It's the clothes.
Oh my, well, because she's wearing like what, 2-year-old clothes, because that's what everybody does, right?
Swimming. She's in preemie clothes. She's still swimming in them.
Still swimming, yeah. Well, it's going to be all right.
Yep.
Preemies grow up too. That's the good news.
She's all good. She had her first meditation today.
She had her first meditation. May this be the first
Yes.
of infinite blessings.
They usually end up getting twice as big.
Yeah, that's how I think that happened.
That's right.
I can't think of a better way to start a life.
Yeah.
Can't think of one. So I would say Aja is already blessed, big time. That's really exciting. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. And thank you for contributing to that blessing and the sharing of that merit for Aja and for Liz and for Lisa, but for all of us, because this is I remember, of course, this time as a new mother being completely confused about what I was supposed to be doing. I've never resolved that, by the way. I have a 35-year-old and a almost 30-year-old. I'm as confused as I was that first day. I've just gotten way more comfortable not knowing. And this is a part of that path that we were talking about. Remember that seeking something, security somewhere, knowing something, having the something is the myth. It is the myth. And then we go, well, but once the baby's born, or once they get to college, or once they blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And once I, figure out the formula, or once I figure out how often, nope, doesn't actually ever come from that. It does come, however, from the resting in the stillness and silence, in the face of not knowing. Right in the middle of not knowing anything, you go, yep, right here, just like that, don't know. But I could be open here, and that's more than all that wish for knowing. And then I can open here again, and that's more and kinder, because at least we can show up there. And I'm excited for Aja and the possibilities for her to do it by her grandmother's doing it, and her mother's doing it, and are doing it for them both and for them all. So thank you all so much for this amazing and completely beautiful practice for me. Thank you. You inspired me completely to that. And with that, rather than seeking anything else, see if we can't drop here and notice that it's already here. The peace is within. The happiness is here, right? Everything we need is right now, if we let it be. But that means we have to drop into it completely. We can't keep our antlers up, our fingers clawing, our eyes darting everywhere else, because what then you miss what's here is actually what happens. In all of that searching, you miss what's actually right here for you. So let's practice that this evening, whatever else you go on to do, whether you're putting a baby to bed or yourself. Both beautiful. So good to see you, Liz. So happy. Can't wait to see the baby in the thing. I can't remember what that thing's called, but I can't wait to see her in it. Some kind of new playpenny thing that they put babies in. It should be really fun. I don't think it's probably not there yet, because I think, I think it takes a while to get to that. All right, everyone, be well. Mwah! To you, Liz, to Lisa, and to everyone. I'll look forward to seeing you guys soon. All right, here we are. Take good care, all. Be well. Vivian, please join us again. Bye, everyone.